Сәлеметсіздер ме, құрметті елші Свенолов Карлсон мырза, қонақтар, студенттер, Шайзада ханым. Ең алдымен барлықтарыңызды бүгінгі осы іс-шараға уақыттарыңызды бөліп, қатысып отырғандарыңызға үлкен алғысымызбен құрметімізді білдіреміз. Құрметті студенттер, сіздерді жеңістеріңізбен құттықтаймыз. Dear Your Excellency, Ambassador Svenolov Carlson, dear Dr. Shahzada Taspolatova, colleagues, all the participants, dear winners, students, welcome to this pre-departure event. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all with this great success. Let's start today's pre-departure event. And I would like to invite for the welcome speech our ambassador of the European Union in Kazakhstan, Svenolov Carlson. Your Excellency, good morning, please.
Thank you, Elnora, and good morning, everybody. A pleasure to be with you, even at a distance. So, dear Erasmus Mundus students, dear Dr. Tasbolatova, and all colleagues, I'm very pleased and happy to welcome you today on this Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Students Pre-Departure Meeting. First of all, of course, I would like to congratulate you on your selection for the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Program's scholarship. From Kazakhstan, the Erasmus program received 227 applications and 51 students were selected this time. And this is in itself an indication of your hard work to gain access to quality education and research. This year, students from Kazakhstan will start the studies in a great number of different countries: France, Spain, Finland, Italy, Belgium, Portugal, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Greece, Bulgaria, Austria, all of them EU member states, but also in Norway, the United Kingdom, and Turkey. In the frame of the EU Erasmus Mundus Scholarships program, so as I had mentioned, 51 young Kazakh students will pursue their master's studies in such areas, very different areas, as cloud computing. Don't ask me what that is, but it's advanced studies for sure. Chemical nano engineering, that's even more complicated probably. Innovative medicine, tourism development and culture, global development policy, intelligent field robotic systems, and others. So this gives you an idea of the scope of the studies and the cooperation we have in the sphere of education. If we look back a little bit, so since 1987, the EU has been funding the Erasmus program, which aims to promote exchange opportunities for students and staff of higher education institutions, and for the institutions themselves within the member states. The program immediately proved to be extremely successful, which is why in 2010, the European Union decided to extend such lifelong learning opportunities also to partner countries, including the countries of Central Asia. And over the last 6 years, the Kazakh universities from 16 different regions have been involved in 61 capacity building projects in higher education. And Kazakh students have benefited from 275 scholarships under the heading of Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree. In addition, a total of 939 mobility projects have started between European Union and Kazakhstani higher education institutions, allowing sending over 3,300 Kazakh students and staff to partner universities throughout Europe, and more than 1,600 EU higher education students and staff coming to Kazakhstan to study and to teach. We are very proud of these results, yet we do know that we need to achieve more. And we had a recent meeting organized together with the Ministry of Higher Education a few weeks ago, where this was discussed at some length. The ongoing Erasmus Plus program, which covers the period from this year throughout coming years, including 2027, a program which was adopted in 2018, has an overall budget of more than 26 billion euros. This is by far the biggest increase for any programs that we have tabled. We feel the responsibility, but also a great privilege to contribute to the empowerment of young people, both within the European Union and in its partner countries. We know indeed that investing in empowering young people means to reduce unemployment through the creation of qualified employees. However, it goes beyond that. It also means fostering the exchange of knowledge, expertise, and a broader experience through an enhanced cooperation among EU countries and among EU citizens and non-European citizens, which is a key element towards a common future of prosperity and peace. So I'm very pleased that you have the opportunity to benefit from Erasmus in order to develop your knowledge, your skills, but also to establish contacts, develop networks, and learn to appreciate the diversity within our societies. So let me take this opportunity also to thank the Erasmus Plus national agencies, our embassies, the alumni, and current participants. I thank also colleagues from the EU member states who are also participating here today and who will be assisting you in addressing administrative issues which you might have to face during the preparation for your departure. And last but not least, a specific and a personal thank to Dr. and Director Shehzada Tasbolatova for her commitment, her energy, and her enthusiasm in running the office, and congratulate her on significant successes over a number of years. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and I would like to underline that in particular since I'm about to leave myself in a couple of weeks. So this is, unfortunately for me, the last opportunity to participate in such a pre-departure orientation session. With this, thank you very much. I wish you all the best of luck in the preparations for your different destinations, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Dear Ambassador, thank you very much for your kind words and wishes. It is truly the opportunity for our winners, for all our students. I'm sure that they will get the best benefits from Erasmus. I know that to develop their knowledge and skill. Thank you very much again. Now, let me please introduce to all of you Dr. Shehzada Tasbolatova. She's Director of National Erasmus Plus Office in Kazakhstan. First of all, thank you very much for organizing this event, for supporting Erasmus program in Kazakhstan. Dr. Shehzada Tasbolatova, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Ilnura. Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Sven-Olof Carlson, for your kind words. And certainly today we have our stars are our Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Scholarship winners. So on behalf of the National Erasmus Plus Office in Kazakhstan, and on behalf of the of our team, I would like to congratulate the students that have won their scholarships. And it is a very exciting opportunity for you because, well, we have such a support from the European delegation and personally from the head of the EU delegation. And using this opportunity, Your Excellency, I would like, first of all, to say that we're saddened that you are leaving us, but I would like to congratulate you on high appreciation and appraisal of our country, of your contribution to enhancing cooperation between Kazakhstan and EU member states. So we heard on TV a demonstration that you were awarded a high order, and I would like to thank you for all your endless support during all your stay in our country. And I am sure that today's achievements certainly have a good contribution from the European delegation, from all the staff, from all the team under your leadership. And I would like to thank representatives of the member states, embassies, Portugal, Belgium, UK, Germany, Spain, that we have now with us. I hope more will join later because we have students that are going to various countries, and we are looking forward for their joining us. So, dear students, let me first of all, well, we should go through the program. I don't see the program. I get him. So if you see the program, then you can see that we are, well, we are finishing, or we have finished the opening part. Then there will be a short presentation from me, main features of the program. And we have invited, and I would like to thank Yulia Vanzhulova. She is a representative of Erasmus Mundus Alumni Association in Central Asia, and she will share her experience and maybe give you some recommendations on her part. And we are happy to have two students that one of them has already completed, Evgenia Karibzhanova, and the second one, Maral Shantimirova, is still taking her Erasmus Mundus course. And I think that as fresh people with fresh experience, they would be able to give you a piece of good advice. So please feel free to ask any questions that you might have so far. And after that, there will be a very interesting session, questions and answer session with representatives of the EU embassies. So please feel free to ask and to underline and emphasize the challenges, the difficulties that you are facing, so that you can have a first-hand answer from the people that can, well, help you. So maybe now it is high time, Elnora, to ask them to switch on all the cameras. Please, dear students, can we have you please put on your camera so that we could have a screenshot for of all of you, to see all of you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahzada, for saying this. Yes, it would be great to see all of you, and it is for our memory, and also we will share in our all social media and our website. Yeah, if not this pandemic time, we would have this in real, but unfortunately, it's just online for now.
Yeah. Okay.
So can we see all? I get him. Maybe
I get him.
Could you please?
This? You have finished.
Because I'm not seeing all the participants. Can we see all to the main screen or all the participants who are here?
На экране всех сразу.
Thank you.
Можем? Ну, я тоже не вижу. Now you see on the screen. You see?
No.
Now we see.
No.
and we can, on the big screen,
You
we see,
can.
yes, and
Okay. Yeah. I don't see. But I mean, it was just an idea that everybody, each student will see who is participating and how great it's the picture, and because we are 52 for this moment. Anyway, we will have this print screen later from you. Thank you very much, and we will. It will be a great pleasure to see your presentation and speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eleonora. Thank you very much, and I can switch on. Dear Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree winners, you are smiling, you are looking forward to start your studies, and you are anticipating a very interesting stage in your life. And I would like also to join my congratulations on your great success, because really, to win such a scholarship, it's a very great achievement at the very start of your professional careers. So please, next slide, please. We have, as you can see on the screen, we have, 51 master students. We received information from the European Commission that there are 52 students actually. But when we checked the list, we saw that one student, Diana, has won 2 scholarships. I mean, she won in 2 programs, but she decided to give up 1 program. That's why so far we have 51 master students, but we know that these are provisional numbers, and some people might refuse from the scholarship, and maybe they have won another one. That's why the number can increase even more, and we might have not 51 but 52 or even more, but this data will be available only by September, October, or something like this. And you see 15 first hosting countries. You see the list, and we are very happy that the representatives of these embassies are with us. You see the dynamics, the evolution of the scholarship holders from Kazakhstan. And there was time when it was very, very discouraging, 2005, 2006, and at that time, really, it was very discouraging because either 0 or 1, 2, 3, etc. And now you see that from 2014, we have a very good picture. And this year we have 51 scholarships from Kazakhstan. And we are proud that if at the very beginning we could see that graduates of universities located in other countries, for example, a student could complete bachelor study in UK and would win a scholarship for Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree. Now you see the list of universities, and you are among them. So we see that Gumilev Eurasian National University, Nazarbayev University, Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, but even Kimep University, Kostanay State, Karaganda State Technical University, but even universities located in the regions are also very active. This also shows that our universities are becoming more and more competitive, and internationalization is top priority for our universities as well. So I think that as alumni of these universities, your alma mater can be proud that their students are competitive on the international level. In Central Asia, you see that, Kazakhstan is also very active in this action as well. And jointly with, in Central Asia, we have, we have a very good picture representing, for example, in Kyrgyzstan, 94 people for the same period, Uzbekistan, 99, 30 Tajikistan, and 12 from Turkmenistan. So this is a very good opportunity to find, people from the same region, maybe in the same program. So you will see when you get acquainted with them. These are the Erasmus Mundus joint master degree programs that enroll our students. And I was very interested to see that 3 programs, and you'll see the next slide a bit later, that 3 programs are involving our universities. For example, KIMEP University is involved in Central and East European, Russian and Eurasian studies. And 3 students, well, this is Jusupayeva Korlan has also chosen this program. KIMEP is involved as full partner, and we see Shokan Valikhanov Kokshetau State University is involved in this program in delivering the program as associate partner. So you see 45 programs. It means that some of you have opted for one and the same program, and you will see when you meet with each other at a later stage. Next, please. So you see the list of programs that our universities are members of the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Consortium. And the 3 people, as I have mentioned, you see number 1 for KIMEP University and Shokan Valikhanov, Central and East European, Russian and Eurasian studies. But we also have Erasmus Mundus Master in Soil Science, and one of the students has also, I think this is Abdrahmanov Mirjan, this is Kairbekov Tursunbek that has chosen this program, and Abdrahmanov Mirjan has chosen their program involving Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master in Archaeological Material Science. So it means that well, given the pandemics, given the quarantine measures, still ongoing in the world, you might even have an opportunity to start your studies physically, offline, at these universities probably as well, in particular at KIMEP University. So just for your information. Next slide, please. This is the network. As I mentioned, Yulia will be presenting Erasmus Mundus Association, and we have Erasmus Student Network, Erasmus Plus Student and Alumni Alliance. So Yulia will be presenting in more detail. That's why I just skipped. But for you to know that you are not alone, you have associations, you have networks, you have alliances, and you can certainly benefit from their experience and from their support as well. Next slide, please. Well, there are some problems that students are encountering due to the COVID. First of all, that some students are complaining that they cannot start their visa application process because some embassies are not well providing these visas. But we have the embassies, and maybe with you there will be no problems. Closure of borders, students cannot, or at least could not travel to get visa. Again, I rely on the embassies, on the representatives of the embassies, and you can have their piece of good advice. But some students have already applied to they have contacted our office, and they were anxious because in the past, before the COVID, students could apply for visa in their home cities because there were agencies, visa agencies. But now they were underlining that the visa agencies are closed, and all of them have to travel to Nur Sultan. I hope this will be also clarified how they will be contacting the embassies to get visa in case if the borders are open in some countries. And for example, Spain, they are very open, and they were always providing visas, and universities, Spanish universities, were accepting our students. Well, uncertainty about operating airlines and available flights. There were cases when, for example, there was a combined flight and students, or not only students, but any other people traveling could have difficulties because for some countries, some airlines were not allowed to fly. So please take care and please check very attentively when you buy your tickets, if you are allowed to travel. There were cases when students had to remain under quarantine upon their arrival in Europe. This was the case maybe more related to international credit mobility students who went for a short stay in Europe. But I think with you, it will not be, well, you'll not be affected by this difficulty. If, as I have mentioned, there would be some Erasmus Mundus joint master degree programs that involve in the consortia of which will be involving non-European countries, there were cases when the students had difficulties to organize mobility to those countries. Late arrival of students and consequently delays in the program implementation. So there will be a recommendation on this as well. Then students faced difficulties to request or extend their residence permits. So there might be new under quarantine and under the pandemic situation, there might be other difficulties and problems. So you have to be very, very clear and very cautious before you go to the first hosting country for study. Next slide, please. How to avoid some measures, how to avoid or at least minimize the COVID-19 related difficulties. First of all, you have to contact your coordinator, program coordinator, because the timeline of implementation of mobility actions might be changed. And this is the issue that nobody from this end can help you or can affect, because this will be purely the decision of the hosting university. So please, you should be very, very active and please do not be shy, contact your program coordinators. Then some programs will might offer you an opportunity or possibility to start first virtual activities, either distance learning or virtual training, online volunteering. And this can be combined with the physical mobility abroad at a later stage. Or the deadline, you know that European Commission initiated unprecedented earlier flexibility, referring to mobility projects, including international credit mobility, as well as Erasmus Mundus joint master degree mobilities. So please, some of them even extended the deadline for the programs. So you need to be very, very cautious about this as well. Where applicable, participants would be able to benefit from language learning opportunities. And also, this is the case when you have to contact your program coordinators. But both virtual and physical periods would count towards recognition of your learning outcomes. So don't worry that if you have virtual, nevertheless, your virtual study will be also recognized as mobility. As I have already underlined, the European Commission introduced a very high level of flexibility concerning the mobility projects and programs. That's why one of the measures is financial support may be offered to students facing COVID-19 related difficulties and fee waivers granted for additional semesters needed to finish their thesis. So please take this into account. When appropriate, lower grants could be provided as well to cover costs of participants in case if beneficiaries opt for replacing part of the physical period abroad with virtual activities. Please be informed that in this case, certainly lower grant might be provided. Flexibility is offered to students regarding their mobility path, academic calendar, exams, thesis defense, and other issues, adaptation of research questions and thesis defense formats to minimize disruption of the students' learning experiences. And some tips and advice. First of all, please, if you travel, ensure that you have a valid passport at least 3 months prior to the departure date and visa. Certain international students are required by a condition printed on the visa to register within the police within 7 days of arrival. For example, this is the case of UK. If this rule is not observed, you might face very serious problems and even, well, you will have to leave the country. International students studying for more than 6 months in UK are entitled to be registered with a general practitioner to receive primary care free of charge. Please don't lose this opportunity. Current students are a good source of advice and information about what you can expect at the hosting university. And this is the aspect that we cannot advise you because, we have never had these opportunities, but you have the list of students, and today's event is a very good networking opportunity, and you'll benefit from the recommendations and advice of the current and recent students that have already completed or are studying, taking the course at present. And please contact your academic representative for more information or read some of the student blogs on the university websites, a very useful source of information. All supporting documents should be kept. Please don't lose the documents that you expect to be reimbursed. I mean the price, the cost to be reimbursed. And please be active when you are in the country. I hope that we shall overcome soon these pandemics, and our life will be again normal. And please, when you are in the country hosting you, I mean at the university, please be very active. As student ambassadors, assistants to professors, a volunteer, use the volunteer opportunities, any other issues, because you are on your own are also ambassadors of Kazakhstan. And be equipped with some information and promo materials about Kazakhstan. Some students would like to have at least smaller flags or big flag, information about Kazakhstan, some leaflets, some booklets, some maybe songs, I mean discs with music, folk music or any other music, or maybe Dimash songs or whatever, because Dimash is so well known all over the world, and maybe it would be interesting for your host university to listen to this music as well. And on this slide, you see two sources of information. This is survey report, Erasmus Mundus program implementation in the context of COVID-19. It was issued in June 2020, and it is still valid. So this is a very good information, and you can benefit from the findings of this report. And the second one is called the Youth Move. If you are a mobile student, so there are very good. When we could have offline sessions, we used to print out and give this as a book, as a handbook. But now we cannot do it. But you can. It is available on the website. Now you have the link, and you can benefit from the information, from the tips, advice, recommendations given in this handbook as well. So your rights as a mobile student, this is the last one. And survey report, you see the links where you can have it. And the Erasmus Plus program guide is a very huge document. If you have patience and time, please study it as well. And some information is available on the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree website. And some information is on our website. And please feel free, if you have any difficulties, please don't be lost, and you can certainly contact us. But just for your information, certainly we cannot be informed and know all the specifics of this program, because our mission includes only information sharing. But if we can be of any help to you, certainly we can do it. And you will have Yulia Vanzhulova. She is representative of the alumni, Erasmus Mundus alumni, and she can also share her experience and maybe her advice with you. So this is all for the moment that I would like to share with you. If you have any questions, please feel free, and you can use the, you can write down your questions in the chat, and we'll be, happy to respond to your questions as well. Thank you. Elnura?
Yes, thank you very much for this great presentation. I think that further we can work like this. First of all, yes, as you said, our students can write their questions, or they can raise their hands through this in Zoom. It can be possible. So then they can address their questions live to all of us and to you. Please, I think that for the questions and answers session, we think that Erasmus Plus program will moderate and guide this the second part, the practical part. So please, dear participants, if you have questions, please raise your hands or write down your questions. Aygirim from Erasmus, she can read these questions, or maybe Dr. Shahzada, maybe you, if you that is convenient for you. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Elnura. It was great to have you with us. I know that you are staying with us, but maybe from now on we can share the moderating. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So far we can have we have only some, I would say, technical questions. Thank you. And can we have the presentation? Yes. The presentation will be uploaded on the website. Aygirim from our office will take care. So please, use it. So if we don't have so far any other questions or requests, maybe we can move on, and we can give the floor to Yulia Vanzhulova, please. Yulia, thank you for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for inviting. Just the check if you can hear me well.
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Just give me a second to share my presentation, because I also have some information for you.
Yes, while Yulia is sharing her presentation, I would like to remind you, Yulia Vanzhulova is a very important person. She is, first of all, representative of the Erasmus Mundus Alumni Association for Central Asian chapter. So she is the right person for you to ask questions. And Yulia benefited from 10 programs. She is also alumni, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree alumni, and she has very interesting presentation for you. Please, let's listen to her. So, Yulia.
Okay, so I think firstly, so now I can share it, just a minute. So, 1 second. Okay, so first of all, of course, let me to congratulate you with such an amazing scholarship, and you will find out how many opportunities it will provide for you. Let me introduce myself shortly. So my name is Yulia Vanjulova. I graduated the Master of Economics of Globalization and European Integration. It was in 2017-2018. And my program is organized by 10 universities. So they all from around the globe, because some universities are from New Zealand, Brazil, China, not counting the European universities. So physically, I studied just in France, in Belgium, then in Czech Republic, in Prague, and then again, I returned back to Belgium, but to Brussels to do my master thesis with my supervisor. And I also was doing an internship with the European Commission. This opportunity was provided also by my program, or of course, some my proactivity was needed at that time. So here you might see my private email and my LinkedIn. When you will get the presentations, my presentation you will get as well. So you just can click the links and follow them. So they will, you will follow them. Currently I'm living in London and also looking forward to start my PhD studies this year. So I will be also a student again, but at the next level. And here I just would like to share with you one of my initiatives that I created after graduation. I will tell about it shortly. I would say it was my dream because I started to volunteer in the field of education since a very long time. And I always had the dream to also provide some help to students or to give as much as I can in the field of education. So first of all, I started the project that help students to find the right university or get enrolled into the university, because the process might be not straightforward. And this year I decided to establish my own scholarship. Of course, it's not with the big budget, so it's very short budget at this time. So just here, I would like to share with you the how the website looks like, and just will provide you some ideas of the scholarship, so you can maybe share with your friends, relatives, or who might be interested in applying. So the link also is clickable. You can just follow and find the website. And the scholarship is 1,000 euros. This year it will be provided to one person. It's need-based scholarship, and it aims to cover all the expenses during the process of application. So like translation, apostillization of your documents. Then if you need to attend the English lessons, to do some exams like IELTS exam, GRE exam, all the international exams. And our requirements here, so you need to be the citizen of one of the post-Soviet countries, be raised by one family member, and of course, as I said, it's need-based scholarship, so the person should not have enough funds to help him or herself. So I would be more than happy if you will share with your friends and others. Also, I have to mention I'm the representative of Erasmus Mundus Student Association. So you can join it. I think you can join it already if you will follow the link, the website. So you need to be registered and then become the volunteer of our organization. Now there are plenty of projects going on, so you might volunteer in one of them. You also can gain from some of them. You can find some internship opportunities. You can also find a lot of network or students currently studying or recent graduates and not so recent graduates. So our community is quite huge, I would say. We have more than 12,000 graduates now, and more than 170 countries are participating. So me and Madina Karsakbaeva, we're country representatives for Kazakhstan. So you can also follow our Facebook accounts. We have our group for association. Also, please join, volunteer, and of course, you can get support from us as graduates of the programs. And here are our international or official email. Also, you can contact us if you have any questions. We would be more than happy to help you. And one of the events that happening annually, every year, we have a general assembly of the graduates. So we meet in one city, normally it's the city of Europe, and share our experiences. And so it's always an important event for us. And here I also would like to give you some advices about your studies. There are a lot of them, but I think I will just talk about the main ones, and then you can just look through some of them. So during the studies, what I would recommend you, of course, work hard. So don't feel relaxed, or don't avoid the temptation just to walk around or travel around. So first of all, think about studies, because it might be quite harsh, especially because you are coming from another system of education. So you need to get acquainted with everything. Of course, take all the required documents, because what happened to me, I had to apostilize my diplomas when I was already in France, and it was not that easy. So try to prepare everything in advance, all your documents, and because you might need them during the enrollment process. Look for practical experience, look how to use your knowledge, and of course be proactive. So because a lot depends on you, how you will use this experience or how many opportunities you will find. Not to do, of course, avoid cheating, avoid plagiarism in all your works, try to not skip classes. It's also important. Normally you still can skip few, but also keep an eye on it. Regarding the scholarship, make sure that you have some money with you. I would recommend to have 1,000 or 1,500 euros for the first time. Always have a copy of your ID card and an insurance. An insurance you will get from the administrators of your program. And of course, don't spend all the money in one go, and when you get the scholarship as well. So try to keep your budget or organize your budget. Regarding the renting apartments, I would recommend, of course, keep in mind that there are some good areas, nice, safe areas in cities. There are some areas that it's better to avoid in some cities. Of course, normally everything is safe, but it's also better to check in advance. So I would recommend to talk to students who are currently studying there. So they will provide you all the insider information. Try, of course, to contact people in advance. And when choosing the place, beauty is not the main criteria. So keep an eye on it. Then from my experience, negotiate in advance all the conditions of renting and how the deposit will be returned, because normally if you rent an apartment, you have to pay deposit, like 1 or 2 monthly payments. And I experienced some problems returning the deposit from my landlord, so be careful. If you live in a dorm, I would recommend, of course, to get acquainted with all the rules and figure out how signalization works or all the alarm works, because the visit of firemen is costly, ambulance as well, but I will tell you a bit later. And so I'm skipping just some recommendations I think you see here. And of course, be very accurate in every city. Of course, there are sometimes some thieves. Some of them focus on foreign students. Don't want to scare you, but of course, it's better to be informed in advance. So make sure that you close properly your doors when you leave. And of course, don't keep your phone, credit cards, money together. Keep an eye on your laptops, which is one of the most important things for your studies. So health issues, I would say just don't be afraid. Don't postpone calling to insurance company if you experience some issues. Don't stay silent. So contact your coordinators of your program, contact insurance company. Yes, the health care might be expensive, but your insurance probably will cover it. So just I would say don't be worried about it, but I would recommend to go through all the conditions of your insurance when you get it, so you will know what does it cover exactly. And traveling, I would say don't take a lot of luggage with you when leaving from your country, from Kazakhstan, and especially when you need to move between countries, it might be complicated. So when you buy things, think twice if you really need them, because then you will need to carry them with you. And avoid fare dodging. And regarding the luggage, also, you might contact the student unions. Each university has student union, and normally they provide some stuff which is left after the previous students. So you might get, I don't know, almost new, of course, secondhand pillows, plates, and everything what you need for your stay. So I even get the tennis racket once there in the student union. So, and then of course you can give back for other students. Free time activities, of course, enjoy your time during your stay and don't stay at home. Try to communicate as much as possible, join our Erasmus Mundus association and volunteer there. And of course, enjoy your experience. You will find out that there are so many opportunities for you. And I wish you all the good luck. Contact me if you need any help, any advice. I would be more than happy to help you. And thank you.
Thank you, Yulia, for this inspiring presentation. And this is a very good example of follow-up after. After Yulia has finished her studies, she initiated, you see, her own scholarship. And this is a very good initiative. And I hope that some of you will find other possibilities to follow up your studies. Once you benefited, maybe you would like also to help others. But we have several questions, I guess, to Yulia. This is, I get him. I lost. No, there was a question from someone. I cannot see it. There was a question. Do the costs of travel from a European city to another European city get covered by the scholarship? Please, Yulia, I guess this is a question to you.
Very good question. Normally you get installation, like when you just arrive, you get the scholarship, like monthly payment, but then you also get some amount just for your traveling, I mean, between cities, and also like to buy again some things that you need. So it would be, depends on the country, but it might be 3,000 euros. So it would be more than enough to cover your traveling between countries. I mean, when you need to move between countries. So normally the program doesn't buy tickets for you, but it provides money. So in advance. So it will be also covered.
Okay, thank you. There are no other questions, but only thank you. And we wish you good luck, Julia, as well. And I would like to turn your attention also to one fact, as that when you are Erasmus Mundus joint master degree winner, you can benefit from studying minimum in 2 countries, at the universities of 2 countries. But it is not the limit. You can follow the example, Yulia's example, and her experience, and you can benefit from studying in more than 2 countries and 2 universities. And your diplomas will be signed by directors of more universities, and this will give you more privileges and more advantages when you enter the labor market. So please don't be shy, be active, and use all the opportunities from you have in this program. So if we don't have any further questions, then we move on. Yulia, thank you once more. You are always with us. Yulia is normally involved in all our meetings with we are very sorry, but there was an interruption in internet in our office. Now it's okay. So do we have Maral with us? Maral, are you
Hello,
here?
yes, I'm here.
Yes, please, Maral. So nice to see you. Please, the floor is
Thank
yours.
you. Okay, so I will share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, we see it.
Yeah. Okay, then, thank you. Okay, so hello, everyone. Congratulations to all of you for being here. My name is Maral, and I'm the scholarship holder in the program European Masters in Technology for Translation and Interpreting. And I had an opportunity studying the first year in Malaga in Spain, and my second year will be in Bulgaria. My presentation mostly would be some kind of with some technical issues, with administrative issues for you, especially for applying to visa to Spain. And I'm going to share with my pieces of advice and tips what to do and what not to do while applying to visa to Spain, and also some tips and advice about living in Europe and studying overall. Okay, so usually visa application procedure is not quite easy, but for me, the previous year, it was very difficult because, as we know, during those pandemic times, all the embassies were closed, and Spanish visa, they extended every time the time of opening the doors for applicants. So that's why I made a really big mistake. I didn't start to collect all the documents in advance. Also, I was in another city, so I decided to postpone it for the next time when everything would be clear and the embassy will open the door. So please don't do this. Start the application procedure in advance. As far as I know, all the documents are valid for 3 months at least. So that's how, if you're going to start your education in September or October, please start collecting all the documents right now. Also, once I received a call from the other Erasmus students, and they said that exclusively, Spanish embassy is going to open its doors for 1 day for us, for the European students. But of course, I didn't have any documents with me, so that's why I lost this opportunity, and I had to wait with all other applicants for more than a month. Also, if you're going to book and reserve the place in the embassy, do it also in advance, because for me, it also took 1 month. So be sure that you're going to start everything in advance. Also, my biggest advice is to collaborate with other students. Always keep in touch with them. That's how you're going to, of course, improve your communication skills, but also you're going to be up with all the latest news, and you can collaborate and help each other. Also keep in touch with embassies. They were really nice. They were really helpful previous year. They always answered my questions. Of course, sometimes they say something like you can find it on the website, but the problem was that I didn't know whether this is the document that I needed. But anyway, they cleared everything out and everything was fine. It would be really nice if there would be some information, like especially for the Erasmus students, so you could know what kind of the documents you're going to apply, what procedures, what is the time does it take. But if it's not impossible, well, anyway, you have to keep in touch with embassy and do everything in advance. And of course, not to give up, because I almost did the previous year because everything was closed, but everything figured out, so everything was fine. Also, as you know, maybe the Spanish visa is valid only for 3 months. So which means that when you go to Spain, you have to prolong it. This is a very bureaucratic procedure, and please be prepared for that. It's very time consuming. It took me 3 months, but I was blessed to have +2 months because it was the pandemic times. So if you're going to Spain, make sure that you're going to book the place in police like in 2 or 3 weeks before you're even leaving Kazakhstan. So the procedure takes usually 1 month plus 1 month or even 45 days doing this special like visa for the students. So that's how you have to bear it in mind. The second, of course, to plan budget, as the previous speaker already said, don't waste your money as soon as you're going to get it, because, well, living in Europe is much more expensive than in Kazakhstan. Again, collaborate with the students. This is the top advice. It's going to really help you. Although that I in person was in Spain, all of my education was online. Everything. I think I have my education only for 2 weeks or something on site. So that's why you have to collaborate with other students and make friends anyway, at least with your colleagues or with your group mates. That's how you're not going to stay alone. And final, which is one of the most important things, especially during these pandemic times, if it's possible, it's my personal advice, try not to go home for holidays. It's going to give you a lot of issues. We had some situations when students decided to leave home for Christmas and they couldn't come back because the borders were closed and they couldn't come back. That's why they could almost lost their scholarship. Everything, of course, figured out, but anyway, try to keep it in mind. And well, the final one, of course, there are a lot of big opportunities there. One of the also biggest advice, use the opportunity to experience all of your placements. As soon as you get the list of the placement, track it, find out which one is going to be the best for you, because it's a really good opportunity for you. Also, of course, you're going there for studying, but please track your physical and mental health, especially if you're having your online courses and you can't go outside. You have to not only study, you have to think about your health. My insurance didn't cover any procedures considering COVID. This year I'm going to get it, which is very good, but the previous year I hadn't. And also think about your health, for example, because my scholarship didn't, I was almost lost my scholarship if, for example, I got COVID, because it didn't cover anything. And they said, if you're going to not attend classes, you're going to lose your scholarship as well. Well, and always become a part of any community, if it's possible, of the travel community, because they are going to guide you and also to help you as well. And finally, if you have any questions, you can contact me via email. I can share with my experience, or maybe about studies or any other administrative stuff, or maybe finding the good apartment if you're going to Malaga as well. So thank you very much for attention and good luck.
Thank you, Maral, for this excellent presentation. I think your advice will be very, very helpful, useful for our new students. But we have two questions. I don't know whom to address. I guess these would be the questions to the representatives of the embassies. My mobility track provides for the first host country, Portugal or France. But to apply for a visa to Portugal, I need to travel to Moscow on my own. Unfortunately, I cannot afford to travel to Moscow to apply for a visa. However, I managed to apply for a visa to France. Can I apply for a long stay permit in Portugal from there? Maybe a bit later when our next student will complete your presentation, maybe we can ask representatives of the embassies. And the next question also, thank you for the presentation. Does anyone know what specifically an applicant shall take to an interview for the UK student visa? And there is a question, Maral, to you. Are you in Ghent now?
No, currently I'm in Kazakhstan. Like few days ago, I came back, but I'm going to Bulgaria for the second year.
Okay. So nice to hear that you are so mobile, Maral, and you are using all the opportunities, and your excellent English will be very helpful to you. And I think that, I would like personally to thank you for being so open and for giving your also email. Maybe some people will be shy to ask some questions now, but maybe they can contact you later. Thank you and good luck to you as well. So please, let's listen to the next speaker, Evgenia Karibzhanova. Is Evgenia with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Yes, please, Evgenia, the floor is yours. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you very much. I will share my screen. All right, I think you can see my desktop, right?
Yeah, we see.
Into a presenter mode. And well, first of all, of course, I would like to congratulate everyone with this great opportunity to have an Erasmus scholarship. It's going to be like 2 great years of your life, you will see. And yeah, I would like to introduce myself briefly. I'm Evgenia. I recently became a graduate of Erasmus Mundus Master in Membrane Engineering, like 2 weeks ago. So throughout my studies, I studied in 3 countries, in 2 universities in France. The second semester I spent in Czech Republic, and the last one and my master's thesis I have written in the University of Twente in the Netherlands. So I'm more or less aware of administrative procedures and of the life in those countries. So yeah, if you would like to have more information, maybe you can contact me after. But I would try to add some small details to Maral's presentation because it was very informative and it covered pretty much all the points. But I will quickly go through what I would like to add. So for the administrative procedures, it's just a calming down advice. Keep in touch with your programs coordinator. At least for me, it was the most helpful, the most supportive and calming down person who have went through all the procedures with the students before, so they can give you a really great piece of advice and consolate you sometimes. So don't be shy, ask questions, and if you have any uncertainties, always contact your programs coordinator. Secondly, of course, if you have any doubts about the application, it's best to contact directly the embassies. And for instance, French embassy was really helpful with the coordination of my first visa. And there was a question in the chat about the next applications. Indeed, you are going to apply for the next country of your stay from the country of your first semester. And most likely don't worry about the following steps because the program will coordinate you and they will explain you all the administrative procedures, but indeed have all the documents with you translated and apostilled if it's necessary. So also, yeah, don't worry too much because it's maybe not so good to tell, but still do everything that depends on you. But if something does not depend on you, everyone is aware of current situation. So most likely you will be supported. And yeah, try to stay in touch with the coordinators, embassies, students, and yeah, try to not worry too much. And okay, this about the traveling to Kazakhstan. A small anecdote, I was one of the students who thought that pandemic will last a couple of weeks when it just started. So when I was in Czech Republic in the second semester, I decided that it's great to go home since the university got closed for 2 weeks. At that point, it was 2 weeks. So yeah, and I got stuck there for 4 months. And since the education was online, my program supported me a lot and it got resolved. But if you want to travel home, check that first of all, in the worst case scenario, if Kazakhstan gets into red zone, if the country where you stay gets into red zone, you still have all the rights to come back. And the flights, I know that there are flights to Amsterdam for the residents of the European Union. Most likely you can attend those, but check that in the worst ever case scenario, you still can come back and only then go. So also, this is the small piece of advice, practical one. In France, I was told that if I want to apply for European health insurance card, I'm free to do so. But since in Erasmus Mundus you are covered by the private insurance, I thought I have an insurance. It's fine, I will not apply for this card. Don't do like me. Apply for this card. If you ever hear European health insurance card, apply for it. It's going to make your life easier because indeed private insurances do not always cover the costs of treatment. And especially, for instance, my insurance did not cover the costs of the, let's say, of the health issues that you had beforehand. So if you have any health conditions, it's better to use this opportunity. So this is also, if it's not an administrative procedure, but if you have an opportunity to start to learn the language of your first country of stay, especially if you know that country is known to prefer to speak the native language rather than English, try to learn at least A1 level, just to be able to briefly communicate to people, because still, apart from in university, of course, everyone speaks English, but yeah, it's nice to be able to communicate with people on the streets as well. So invest a little bit of time in it. So being an Erasmus student, I will repeat your moral suggestion, study together, because if the education is online, it's the best way to stay connected, not get lonely and depressed in your room, because it is slightly harsh, especially if you just arrived. So I suggest you to stay together with your Erasmus group at least, and stay always connected, and also ask questions. Again, online it's a little bit more challenging, but it's like the main, I guess, issue of the online education is that professors cannot see if you don't understand, because when you sit in a class, there is at least some response. Behind the computer screen, there is no response, and it is extremely important to not be shy and stay connected, both to students and to professors. And yeah, time management, hopefully some of the time the borders will be open, you will be able to travel at least around the country where you stay. So it's extremely, here for me, the words like time management became not just words but actual practice, so I suggest you to do so. And for student life, yes, attend all the activities that are organized by the program and by the university, just to get acquainted with everyone, to have friends, because again, especially during current time, it's very important to stay connected. And yeah, so try to attend everything that is officially organized. Of course, follow the regulations of the country. Regulations are changing all the time, depending on the situation, and it's good to track as well. But still stay connected to the people around. And integration to international society, well, I would say that throughout your studies, you for sure will find people from our country, because there are big communities of Kazakh people in pretty much every European country, and student communities. And it's nice, it's really nice to stay in touch with them, but try not to restrict your connections by only people of the same, like from the same area as we are, and try to communicate with international students as well and make good friends, because it's one of the major parts of Erasmus experiences, the connecting to the international society. And it's really great. You will get great friends. For me, at least, it was like my friends here became like a second family. It's unconditional friendship, and you will see it's really supportive and great. And lately, yes, have fun. As I said before, the regulations changing all the time, and most of the pictures were made during pandemic time, so when the things were getting better. Yeah, so sometimes things are getting better. During this time, you will be able to travel, to see around, and yeah, of course, it is going to be great in all the areas of your life and all the aspects, like in the research area as well as in just life experience. So have fun, and yeah, if you have any further questions, or if you have any questions now, yeah, you're welcome to ask, and those are my contacts. And yeah, you're welcome to connect.
Thank you, Evgenia. Thank you so much for your very valuable advice. And I would like to thank all the three previous speakers, Yulia, Maral, and Evgenia, for taking their time, preparing such nice presentations, and generously sharing their practice, experience, and giving pieces of good advice to the newcomers. Thank you. And good luck, Evgenia, with your studies, because you have already completed. Maral is still studying, so good luck. Thank you. So now we don't have so many questions, but nevertheless, in addition to those two questions, there are thank you. So we still have those two serious questions. And maybe now it is time for representatives of the member state embassies, embassies of the member states for joining us in the chat. Please, who will start the first?
I could start.
Yes, please.
If I may. I'm Adelino da Silva from the Embassy of Portugal. Answering the question that was asked in the chat about the possibility of asking for a visa for Portugal from France. Yes, it is possible. I assume that the student in question will have a student visa for France. From our point of view, this will give them status of a legal resident, although temporary legal resident in France, which means that that he or she can apply for a visa in one of our consulates. We have consulates in the main French cities, so it should not be a problem at all.
Thank you so much. This is very, very helpful. Asina Abdusaitova, have you heard this? I hope you've heard.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So please follow the advice. Then for UK, there was a question. Does anyone know what specifically applicants shall take to an interview for the UK student visa? Please, can we hear the response to this? There is Aygirim Shaykhmetov. I have a question regarding visa application to Spain. What is your question, please? Aygirim, could you please specify what is your question?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your presentation. My question was, when we apply for a visa to Spain, we need to provide a police clearance report from the countries we have lived in before. So in my situation, it's Indonesia, and I have the police report ready, but Indonesia is now in a very strict lockdown again, and there is no way to to get it signed and to get a stamp from the Spanish embassy in there. So I was gonna ask if there will be, some conditions to be more lenient about this document given the situation, because it's the only document missing for my application procedure now.
Do we have a representative of the Spanish embassy here or consulate?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
I'm the deputy from the Embassy of Spain. So nice meeting you all, and thank you so much for this session, having us here and having us to try to solve the questions of students Erasmus. Well, you see, I'm not heading the consular section, so I don't know to what extent I will be able to provide you with an answer. I was speaking before with my colleague, with the consul of our embassy. We could do the following thing like we did last year. If perhaps like the EU delegation could provide us with a list of people who are going this year, I mean, we could have that in mind, bear that in mind, and try to be flexible and try to help you as much as we can. That's one thing. But at the same time, if you could please just send us an email, I will already warn our colleague, my colleague, the consul, and our consular section, so they are aware that you're going to ask this question. If you don't mind, we can proceed like that, and I'm sure that they will be able to provide you with an answer. And I'm sure that they will try to help you as much as we can. I mean, like we did last year with all Erasmus students. I'm sorry, but I cannot provide you with an answer. This is out of my scope.
But anyhow, thank you very much for this good advice. And there was another student who was also advising that instead of applying for visa one by one, it's better to, to stay together and to apply in a group. So I think we shall ask the European delegation. I don't know whether His Excellency is with us still, but nevertheless, we can do this. I think we shall ask them to send you an email and for all the students that are going to Spain. And
okay, yes, I mean,
you will find a solution.
As you may remember last year, I mean, we tried to, prepare a single day for the Erasmus students. I mean, we could perhaps, I mean, I can speak with my colleague, perhaps we could think about that option. But first of all, we would need at least the people where they're going, contact details, so as to be aware of this.
Okay, and do you have the date for one day when you are open?
Well, I would have to, actually, I mean, the consular section is opening a couple of days a week for visas. But I mean, if we know in advance, I mean, I can speak with my colleague and perhaps we can try to find out a date for that.
Okay, thank you. And we have several questions to the Belgian embassy. Questions for Belgium embassy representatives. What is current rules for entering the country by students from Kazakhstan? Do we need to self-isolate? Also, how and where should I make isolation if it is applicable? Example, I will land in Brussels and then need to travel to Ghent to get accommodation in university housing facility. So can I get trained to Ghent? Will I be asked by custom officer to make isolation in special place? And the third question, I have a Belgian student visa type D. I am going to start my studies in Belgium in September. Is it possible to enter Belgium through Munich? And is a PCR test required? And is a vaccination passport, Hayat Vax, valid? So do we have a representative of the Belgian embassy?
Yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we do.
Well, first, congratulations to all the winners. And I hope that you will have a good time in Europe. It's a really exciting experience. So I wish you all the best. Regarding the access to Belgium, of course, the rules are evolving, and I would strongly encourage you to check later on, closer to your date of travel, what the rules are. But at the moment, to enter Belgium, you need to have a PCR test if you are coming outside of the European Union. You will have to fill in what we call a passenger locator form, and this form will be analyzed by the authorities. On the basis of the information that you write in this report, someone will call you and will tell you what you need to do. Coming from Kazakhstan, there is a very high chance that you will need to self-isolate. You can do this quarantine where you want. So if you're traveling to Brussels airport and then you need to take the train to Ghent, it's possible. You can go to Ghent and then stay there. The quarantine would be of at least 7 days. It can go to 10 days. At the moment, it's the case if you're, for example, coming from India. So yes, the passenger locator form, the PCR test, and then check the rules closer to your date of travel. It's also possible to enter Belgium via another member state. There are flights to Frankfurt, for example. Then you can take another flight to Brussels, or maybe take the train from Frankfurt to Brussels. You're in transit, so it's allowed to transit. The idea being to go directly to self-isolation once you enter Belgium. And there are also services that can help you if you need to, for example, do the groceries or need help during self-isolation. That's also available for foreign students.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Florian. And there is, well, Sanya is just writing, informing that she is also going to Ghent. Maybe it would be better if you go together or somehow contact each other. And Asina has another question. I have another question regarding long stay permit in Portugal from France. Could you please provide us with some source of information where I can read carefully all conditions, required documents, location of the embassy, and etc. I don't know, this is for Portugal. Representative from Portugal? Portuguese embassy. Do we have? Yes, please. Mr. Silva.
Thanks for the question. Yes, I will provide it. I don't know, maybe I'll send it to you, or
yes,
if I can, I'll still do it in the chat during the meeting, but I don't have it here at the moment, but I will provide it, of course. But it is of easy access if you do an internet search, you find easily. Regarding exactly what the documents are needed, well, only my colleagues will be able to say, but in the websites you find all the documentation required. It's not difficult at all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Silva. Another question, again from Asina. If I have a French student visa type D, is it possible to enter France through other country of Schengen area? I don't know who can respond to this question. Is it possible to enter France through other country of Schengen visa? I think, Mr. Florian has responded that to Belgium, you can go through another country. Maybe France is also the same. But I can resend this question to the French embassy or to the EU delegation, and then you will get the answer from our office when we have it. Okay, any other questions? But that question for UK was left without answer. I don't know whether we have representatives of the UK embassy or consulate with us. Could you please check the list of participants? Do we have UK representatives?
No, we don't have it. Just on behalf of the EU, I could say that we don't have here the UK embassy now. But yeah, please, exactly as you mentioned, just collect the question. If you send it to us, to the EU delegation, and then we'll also can communicate it to our member states. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone going to Italy in the first semester? So please, you see the contact details. Is there a representative from Irish embassy? I applied for the Irish visa without medical insurance, but attached the Erasmus agreement to cover insurance. Is it sufficient? Edvardas, you cannot? At least.
Well, I cannot represent the Irish embassy, but we can pass this question again, maybe exactly from the chat. You collect this question because the Irish embassy, they're only located in Moscow. So we can send this question to our colleagues in Moscow and to ask for their reply.
Thank you. Dinara, I am sorry if my question was already mentioned here. I was disconnected for a while. My question is for the Belgium embassy. Is there any possibilities to get visa D type for Belgium in Bulgaria for Kazakhstani citizens? Please.
Yes, of course, you can apply for a Belgian student visa in our embassy in Sofia, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Question from Mahabat. Good morning. Thank you very much for the session. I will be going to Vienna for the university for a year and have a question regarding my residence permit application to Austria. My appointment for residence permit is on the 23rd of July. Usually it is said that it takes 6-8 weeks to get approval from MA 35. My studies begin in the first week of September, and I have a chance of not being able to depart before that time. Is there a chance to apply for visa D while you are waiting for your residence permit approval? We don't have Austrian representative.
No, I'm here. Here's the Austrian embassy.
Sorry, yeah, please. Nice to have you.
Good morning, everyone. So to answer this question, what can I say? At the moment, the EMA 35, they're working again, and they try to proceed the applications as fast as possible. So I hope they can manage to approve it a bit faster. Unfortunately, it's not possible before we receive the approval to apply for a visa D. So we have to wait for the approval of the MA 35. So then you can travel to Austria.
Mahabat, you have heard the response. Thank you. Then Baujan Aidanule, thanks for Belgian representative a lot. It was very informational. Then Aibar, my host university is located in Italy. Do I need an apostille visa, apostille for a school certificate, or university diploma is enough? Italian, no, but maybe we can send to the Italian embassy. Then
I think there is an answer now in the chat from the Italian embassy.
Okay.
It's not from Italian embassy, it's from the student who already did it.
No,
okay, then we can
is located in Italy. Do I need an apostille for a school certificate, or university diploma is enough? The situation might be different from country to country. That's why maybe you need an answer from the Italian embassy, not embassy, but representatives. So we shall resend. If anyone going to Belgium, please contact me. It's a good suggestion. Thank you. Yeah, I see. Apostille is needed for well, for not visa, but I don't know what does it mean for DUV. Apostille and Italian notarized translation of diploma is needed for DOV, and DOV you will take with you to Italian university. Sorry, now I understood what you were mentioning, Alexandra. So, any other questions? No questions for the moment. Here. Dear students, we have a Telegram group for Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree awardees of this year. Please join. Okay, one more question. Do I need my apostille, to apostille my documents for the university in the Netherlands, specifically my diploma? We have the representatives of the Netherlands embassy.
Hi, everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot answer this question because we are not the university, and you should directly ask this question to your representative of the university with whom you're in contact. But for the visa, we don't ask for any apostille or any diploma, so for visa, you don't need that. But for visa applicant, we have only one student, Mira, with whom we are in contact, and we already approved the visa, and I guess there is no visa-related questions.
Okay, thank you. I think Ademi, you've heard the answer, and maybe you can contact your university to ask. Yes, and she mentioned. Okay, thanks. Any other questions? No questions.
Question.
Yeah, one more.
Sorry.
Hello, I'm going to Belgium for my first year. Are there any grants for dependents? I have one child, 1 year child.
Well, so you will need to go to the procedure, and we will need to check if you have sufficient means of subsistence. So if you have enough money to care for yourself, and I suppose the child is going with you, so the child as well. There are no grants in Belgium for that, but you might need what we call someone who can pay for you. Garant in French, warrantor, I don't know in English. But you will have to declare that in your application, and you will get all the information in this process.
Thank you, Mr. Florian. So please, any other questions? If you have further questions.
I have one
question. Yeah, please, Mahabat, your question?
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all, for organizing this. This has been very helpful, and I'm sure it has taken you a lot of effort and time to gather us all and gather the embassies. I had the question, which is also a suggestion, is how the scholars can help you in your work, in what you do, and in helping to inform others about the opportunities that we have, and how else can we contribute to the studentship and the future studentship of EMJMD scholars in the region and in Kazakhstan in general.
The question is, well, to us, Mahabat. Yes, okay. Thank you for this question, suggestion. This was the point I also wanted to address because really we, well, as I have mentioned, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Program is not the program that we monitor or that we evaluate or whatever. We just share the information and to help those who would like to apply and to get these grants, well, had access to the information. But what you've said is very important because, first of all, we are going to circulate a questionnaire, well, among the present and, well, recent alumni and the present students, and with several questions. Because we don't know whether many of them are returning back or stay and start their business or their professional career in other countries. It's just very interesting for information and for statistics. And I think like Yulia has mentioned in her presentation, it would be very nice to have a follow-up. If you complete your studies, that you are doing something useful, helpful for other people who have not managed to benefit from these grants. So maybe, well, you could be our contact point and you can have a network, you can establish a network among the current and well, students and those that have completed their studies, and maybe we can contact you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And there are other questions. I have a husband. Won't it be a problem to go with a partner? Is it a common practice? Could you please specify to what country you are going? And
Italy.
Italy, please. Well, we don't have Italian representative. Maybe Alexandras.
Yeah, well, I cannot say, but I don't think there is any problem for partners or husbands to travel with their wives. I think it's common for all member states, so I don't think there's any problem for that. I mean, but like another way, again, we can ask additionally the Italians for this, but I can't think that there can be any problem for married couple to travel together. Maybe some other colleagues, they can say.
Yes. Thank you, but there will be no, well, such a request as Mr. Florian has mentioned, that they will have to make sure that the second person is having, or the first person is having enough, well, means of subsistence to go. Maybe this rule applies also to this case. Okay, good. Do I need French visa if Italian visa type D covers 2 years? My second semester in France. Please, who can? Again, we don't have French representatives and we don't have Italian. Maybe Mr. Edvardas, you?
Well, as I said, we collect because I cannot really speak on behalf of all embassies. But I think in principle, yes. But again, this is the list we will collect and send to Italian and French colleagues. And unfortunately, they were not able to participate today. But we will send these questions directly to them, so to receive the precise and clear replies.
Okay. From the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, for those who plan to stay in the Netherlands, please make sure to have your birth certificate be apostilled with notarized English translation. Please take care. So maybe there will be again pop up some questions, but meanwhile, if we don't have, if we have more questions, here one more, sorry. Mahabat, you can join Erasmus Mundus Association in Kazakhstan. We organize different events, information sessions about Erasmus Mundus opportunities, question-answer sessions, and more. Yes, Mahabat, this is one more possibility to be helpful. And Dinara, hi Dinara, my first semester in Udine, Italy. I've already applied, now waiting for my visa. Okay, thank you, Yulia. So if there are more questions, we can, well, summarize them and then send maybe to the European delegation, either to Elnura or to Mr. Edvardas, I don't know whom is better, but maybe in two email addresses. And then as soon as we get the responses, what would be the most suitable way? Either we upload them on our website or send to the students that have asked those questions, or how? What would
yes,
be better, Elnura or
I think you can send it to Elnura, and of course we will receive this all. And the questions, I think, which I, because they're all specific questions, so I think we can reply to the specific students. So I think this will be.
Yes, and they
I will reply to you with
to send to the email. Okay, then. Okay, good. So we send you the questions with their emails.
Yes, and also I have an idea for this matter as well. So would be great to kind of prepare. I'm sure that you have a guide for students, Erasmus students, but also would be great to collect, for instance, questions you had from last year's, from previous years. The exact questions and answers, maybe to prepare like question answer. And from this year, additionally, as soon as you have answers from us, you can also join all these questions and answers. And this will be very helpful, not only for students who are going to European Union countries this year, but for the next years as well. So that is kind of, because I'm sure that most of students, they have the same questions every year, and the procedures and also they're not changing much. Of course, like with this pandemic, maybe there are some changes, but overall the procedures are the same. So would be great to have these kind of guidance, questions and answers, books, guidebooks. Thank you.
Thank you, Elnura. Great idea, but we cannot promise for previous years because when they were on site, then people used to meet representatives of specific embassies separately in groups, and they were discussing their own questions, and the answers were given on the spot. But for this year, yes, great idea. We can start collecting these questions because they are fixed here in the well, and we can certainly print them out and discuss and prepare such a small guide. But I guess that such frequently asked questions are also on the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree site as well. and maybe students could benefit from that section as well. But what we can do, certainly we'll do. For this year, certainly, but for the previous years, well, I'm not sure. We cannot promise, at least. We'll do our best, but we cannot promise. So, any other questions? If not, then Elnura, would you like to conclude, or you would like me to thank everyone? Maybe I can start and you can continue. So, on behalf of our National Erasmus Plus office in Kazakhstan, from our team, I would like to cordially thank all of you, both students and representatives of the embassies and all the speakers, and Elnura, separately, my thanks to you and to His Excellency, the Ambassador, Sven-Olof Carlson, for all those people who in the European delegation. I see Mr. Edvardas also from your delegation, I guess. All the interested people who were involved in the preparation of this today's meeting, preparing their nice presentations, sharing their ideas, giving their pieces of advice, and sharing their time. Thank you all, and we'll see what we can do. And I would like to wish good luck to all the students, and I hope that there will be no difficulties, big difficulties that will not be able to be overcome, and they will be able to complete their studies successfully, and hopefully they will stay in touch with us and will have excellent best practices, success stories from the students to share. And the Erasmus Mundus Alumni Association with Yulia and Madina will be also always with us in these efforts. Thank you. Elnura, would you like to add something?
Many thanks. Thank you very much all for participation in this pre-departure session. Again, congratulations to all with this success, with gaining the scholarship from European Union Erasmus Plus program. Good luck, and if you have any questions, please, you can send to our Erasmus colleagues, and they will send us as we agreed. We will be glad to support you. Wishing you good luck. Take care of yourself, especially this time, and health is important. And when you are in European Union countries, please always enjoy your time in Europe and get all the best knowledge, standards, great ideas, and share it with us, with Walt. The world is yours. Good luck, and thank you very much to our member state countries representatives for participation. Thanks a lot to all my colleagues. Edvardas, thanks a lot for your answers, and thank you very much for participation, for welcoming speech to our ambassador, and for organization of all the session, Dr. Shahzada Tasbulatova and her colleagues, Aygirim, and other colleagues whom I didn't mention. Thank you so much and have a great day. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Okay, and one more. Well, Ademi, you received the response from the Netherlands Embassy. Yes, they requested you to send your question to their email address. Okay, thank you, and see you someday, somewhere. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you'll find all the presentations and the responses on our website. And Aygirim will take care. Thank you, Aygirim, for doing this. So, thank you. Bye-bye.